I feel like if you are a convicted criminal and in prison, you've given up your right to vote.
Of course, prisoners should have the right to vote. They get convicted and go to prison and they do their time for their crime. Why shouldn't they be able to vote? They're Americans. Duh, they're letting foreigners vote.
Should convicted felons in prison have the right to vote? No. I feel like if you have committed a crime so bad that you are in prison, all your rights should be taken away.
I feel like convicted criminals should be able to vote. Everybody should be able to give their opinion and vote. You never know. It could be, we can have all the votes except for one last vote and it's a criminal. They should be counted for a vote also.
While they're in prison, no, I don't think they should have the right to vote. Out of prison, yes.
I think when you become a convicted criminal, depending on what the crime is, I mean, some things, maybe are a worse punishment than they deserve, but just in general, I think that should be an across-the-board rule, and that is a right that you give up by choosing to be involved in the crime that you chose to be involved in. It's just, I mean, there are some cases probably where maybe that person, what they did was way over penalized. There are certainly cases like that fall through the cracks, but I just think as a general rule, the majority of people that are convicted felons, have given up that right. That's the choice they made, and they should have to live with it.
When they get out of jail, they'll be living in the same country, and they should have a right to decide who is their ruler, just the same as us.
Convicted criminals lost their reason to vote when they got in trouble.
Why did you vote yes? Convicted criminals have the American right to vote. Well, convicted criminals are still American citizens, even if they have some of their rights taken away because they're in prison. Once they finish up the time they need to serve, they're going to need someone to represent them just as well as everyone else.
I feel like it's a no-brainer that convicted criminals and felons should be able to vote because they are citizens too, and it is the number one freedom as citizens to be able to vote no matter what we did. And just also judging by the fact that a lot of people in our prisons are minorities, it kind of makes you wonder, why don't they want these people to vote? Because they're not going to vote themselves out of jail. That's impossible. But they do have a right, because it is a democracy, and they have a right to vote on our education and healthcare issues just like everybody else.